Hey, this is Dave from YunaPRO, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to get clients from Facebook groups using Meta.ai. This strategy is going to help you uncover hundreds, maybe even thousands of leads you've never been able to find before. So let's dive in. So you want more leads and paying clients for your online business, and maybe you've used Facebook groups in the past, but you found it was really time consuming, or maybe the leads you were getting from those Facebook groups just weren't the quality you were looking for. They weren't quite targeted correctly. Well, now with Meta.ai, there's a really fast and very effective way to find new leads through Facebook groups. The first step is to uncover some new search terms that will help you find those leads. I'm gonna go over to Facebook and I'm gonna show you what most people do. So for this scenario, let's imagine that you run a coaching business where you coach other online coaches. So you help online coaches build their business. Here's what most people would do is they go over to the search bar on Facebook and they type in online coaches, and they would go down here to groups, and they'd start looking for groups that target online coaches. And while that seems like a logical choice to do these steps, there's two problems with this. First off, this is gonna allow Facebook to show you only the most obvious Facebook groups. So as we scroll through here, you'll see that all these groups are for online coaches, but these are only the biggest, most popular groups. And so these are likely the groups that you've tried in the past. The second problem with this search is this is exactly what your competitors are doing. They're also searching online coaches and going to groups and joining these groups and trying to prospect through these groups. So there's a high likelihood you're going to run into your competitors over and over again. Well, now thanks to Meta.ai, you can be smarter than this. You can find new groups to prospect in and to get clients from. Let's go back over to Meta.ai and I'll show you what to do. Down here in the search, it says ask Meta.ai anything. You want to ask a question like this. So in this case, because we're targeting online coaches, I typed in, what are online coaches interested in? And you can do this for any niche. Let's say you're targeting dads. What are dads interested in? Let's say you're targeting CEOs. What are CEOs interested in? And then you're going to go ahead and let Meta.ai do its work and come back to you with a list of things that your target audience is interested in. And so you can see here very quickly, Meta.ai gave me a bunch of different examples of things that online coaches are interested in aside from just online coaching. And so this is step number one. We've now got a bunch of ideas that we're going to use as search terms to uncover new Facebook groups. Step number two is to use these search terms to find targeted Facebook groups and then join those Facebook groups. I'm going to show you an example here. So you can see here in the list that Meta.ai gave me, it told me that online coaches are interested in business growth. So I'm going to take that search term. I'm going to go over here back to search, and you'll see that I've already put that into Facebook's search bar. I searched for business growth, went down and filtered by groups only. And now you'll notice that when I go through this list of groups that Facebook's recommending to me, these are different groups. These aren't the same old groups that all my competitors are hanging out in. And now you can scroll through this list of groups, finding ones that have enough members to prospect from. So typically I look for at least 1,000 members, and ideally looking for private groups, just because those groups tend to be a little bit more vetted. They're a little bit higher quality than public groups. And here's one I came across, ENTV, Entrepreneurs, Business Owners, Coaches, Experts, Speakers, and Authors. And so again, imagine if I'm targeting online coaches, are there likely to be online coaches in this group? Well, yeah, for sure. It's business owners and coaches. And so once you find an interesting group like this, I recommend you go and take a closer look. So I opened up the page to this group. I took a look at the description. I see that there are 13,000 members in this group. This is an ideal group. In fact, I'm going to go and join this group. Now, when you request to join one of these groups, if it asks you membership questions, so asks you questions that have to be answered before you actually get accepted into the group, do answer those questions. It's going to increase the likelihood that you actually are allowed to go and join that group. Let me show you another example here. I'm going to go back to what Meta.ai told me. It said that online coaches are also interested in career development. So I took that novel search term, I went back over to Facebook, I searched career development, went down to groups, and then started scrolling through the groups looking for ones that might be interesting to online coaches. And I came across this group that I had never seen before, CEO Mindset Group. And I opened up that group and found that it's a private group, so that's good. It's probably higher quality than a public group. It's got over 640,000 members. The description lines up with what coaches might be interested in. And then when I went down here, this was really exciting because I can see there's a lot of activity in this group. So this could be one where there's ideal leads hanging out. Again, I'm going to click on request to join. And you'll see in this case, I did get those membership questions we talked about a second ago. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer the questions like this, and I'm going to submit my request, and I'm just going to wait to be accepted into that group. So that's the second step, is you want to join these targeted Facebook groups that came up when you used the unique search terms that were delivered to you by Meta.ai. Well, what do you do once you're accepted to these groups? I'm going to go over to an example of one of the groups that was recommended to me when I did this process. This is called New Age Entrepreneurs Network, and I'm going to go over to the members tab here. And over in the members tab, I can see that there's over 6,000 members in this particular group. And that leads us to the third step, step, which is connect with the leads from inside this group. And you can do this manually. You could go through all the members of the group here. You could go over to their profiles to see, in this case, if they are an online coach and they look like a good lead for you. For me, I've automated the process. So I use a tool called YunaPRO, and I'll show you how it works. I'm gonna go over here to YunaPRO, and inside YunaPRO, there's a set of tools called the lead generator tools. And one of those tools is specifically for groups. And you can see here that I've already told YunaPRO that we're gonna be generating leads from the group we just looked at, the New Age Entrepreneurs Network. Now, this is really important. There's 6,000 potential leads in that group, but I want YunaPRO to only pick out the best leads, the most targeted leads. And this is what you can do as well. So I'm gonna tell YunaPRO that I only wanna get leads who I have things in common with, and I only want to get leads who have at least 5 mutual friends with me. And this is important because I know if I try and connect with one of these leads by sending them a friend request, there's a much higher likelihood that they're going to accept that friend request when they see that we have things in common. Maybe we're part of a whole bunch of groups together, or they see that we have a bunch of friends in common. So at least in this case, 5 mutual friends. I know that those leads are going to accept my friend request. But to be even more specific than that, I'm also going to give YunaPRO some specific keywords to look for when it's going out and connecting with these leads by sending them a friend request. So in this case, I want YunaPRO to go through that entire group of 6,300 members and look for people who are coaches, they're business owners, they're founders, CEOs, agency owners, marketing and sales people. These are the type of people who I want to connect with. I'm also going to tell YunaPRO, stay away from people who are realtors or real estate agents or virtual assistants or assistants. And so you can see YunaPRO is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting for me, sifting through that group, finding the ideal leads, sending them a friend request so that they have the option of accepting my friend request and coming over into my audience. So I'm going to launch YunaPRO here, and you'll see that YunaPRO is going to start going to work and doing that. Now, it is important to point out that this process involves sending friend requests to these leads, and that's simply giving them the option of whether or not they want to accept your friend request and come over into your audience. And this is a really cool part, is that when you send a friend request to a targeted lead, especially a lead who you have things in common with and you have mutual friends with, they're likely going to go over to your profile. And that gives them an opportunity to see what you're all about, to see what value you have to offer. And if they see value, if they see a connection, they're going to accept your friend request. And now you just got a very targeted lead who very well may become your next paying client. And you can see here that YunaPRO's already found 4 targeted leads for me. It sent them a friend request, giving them the option of coming over into my network. YunaPRO's also gone through the profiles of 29 other individuals who didn't match my criteria. They weren't ideal leads, therefore I didn't send them a friend request. And you can see now YunaPRO's found 5 leads, which is what I asked it to go out and do. So that's step number 3 in the process, is to connect with the leads from inside that group by sending them a friend request. That gives them the option of accepting your friend request and joining your audience, where they'll see your content and you can nurture them further. Step 3. Now, step number 4, and the final step, is to start the conversation. Here's a mistake many business owners make. They get new friends, new leads coming into their audience, and they think, yes, these are targeted leads. I'm gonna reach out to them in Messenger, and I'm gonna start telling them about what services I have to offer, or maybe I'll ask them if they wanna hop on a call. And I guarantee if you're watching this, you've had that happen to you. Someone who you barely know, you just joined their audience, and all of a sudden they're hitting you up in Messenger with a sales pitch. How does it feel? It doesn't feel great, right? And if you do that to your leads, they're not gonna feel good. They're not going to want to communicate with you. They're not going to buy from you. So instead, you still want to start a conversation with that lead. You just want to do it a little bit differently. Let me show you. I'm going to go again over into YunaPRO here, and I'm going to go down to the message hub where we can send messages to our newest leads. So you can see here, I'm telling YunaPRO that I'm going to take all of my leads from the past 24 hours, and I want YunaPRO to start a conversation with those leads, but I don't want it to be a salesy conversation. Let me show you what I send to those leads. I'm going to use a template. So this is the same template that I use for all of my new leads. Here's what it says. This is called my new friend welcome message. And it says one of 2 things. Either it says, great to connect with you here, first name, and then it inserts the person's first name. Hope you're having a good day so far. Or YunaPRO will rotate this with a different variation of that same message that says, hey, first name, and YunaPRO will insert their first name. Nice to connect with you here. Enjoy your day. Notice something. Neither of these messages are salesy at all. Your entire goal from connecting with your new leads in Messenger is to spark a conversation. You simply want to get engagement. When you get engagement, those leads are being nurtured, and the Facebook algorithm sees that you're having a real conversation, which means that those leads are going to see more of your content. It means that Facebook is going to start nurturing those leads for you. So it's very, very important that your first message to your new leads is simply a casual message like these examples here that has nothing to do with selling. Then after your leads respond and they've been been nurtured a little bit, then you can start working the conversation towards making them an offer. If you're not sure how to do that, you don't have a script that'll allow you to make offers to leads in Messenger, don't worry, in the description of this video, I put a link to the Messenger script that I use that takes cold leads and makes them offers without ever scaring them away. If you want a copy of that Messenger script, just click the link in the description and you can access it right now. So to recap, so far we used Meta.ai to find some novel search terms that allowed us to go over to Facebook, use those search terms to uncover Facebook groups that are full of your ideal leads but aren't full of your competitors. Then we requested to join those Facebook groups, answering any membership questions that came our way. And once inside the groups, we started connecting with ideal leads by sending them a friend request. Once those leads accept your friend request, then you want to go over to Messenger and simply start the conversation to begin the nurturing process. Now, the final step is to track those leads so that you know when they've been nurtured enough and when they're ready to actually receive an offer from you and make a purchase. Let me show you how I do this. I'm gonna go over to Messenger here and you'll notice something different about my Messenger window. You'll notice that all my leads over here that are in conversation, they all have this colorful label beside them. So you can see this person is labeled as welcome, this person is a client, this person is disqualified, this person is in the nurture phase. And this is something that YunaPRO will do for you. It allows you to label your leads so you know which leads have been nurtured enough in order to make those leads a sale with a high likelihood that they're going to accept. So let me show you an example here. I'm going to click on Carol and you'll see Carol here. We just became friends. She's a new lead that came over to my audience. And lo and behold, she got the message that we just looked at. It says, "Hey Carol, nice to connect with you here. Enjoy your day." Carol comes back and says, "Likewise, Dave." I'm just gonna give her a little heart. I'm gonna leave that conversation right now because Carol's still a cold lead. That's why she's labeled as welcome. People who are just getting a welcome from me, they're not ready to buy. However, I am gonna nurture Carol and eventually she'll turn into a nurture lead and eventually she'll turn into an offer lead when she's made an offer. And then when she accepts that offer, she'll eventually turn into a client. So this is really important to track your leads so that you know when they've been nurtured enough in order to make them an offer and to get them to buy from you. Now, I do understand that this is all done through YunaPRO and you can certainly do this manually. In fact, I used to do this manually through a spreadsheet. I'd list all my leads in a spreadsheet and I'd label my leads inside that spreadsheet so I knew who had received an offer and who's being nurtured, etc. So you can do it that manual way if you like. For me, I choose to use YunaPRO. And you've only seen a little glimpse of what YunaPRO can do. YunaPRO, it's an amazing tool. It goes out all over Facebook. It finds your ideal leads. It brings those leads into your audience. It starts to warm up your leads, making sure they see all of your content. It engages your leads and it'll make them offers and generate sales for your online business, just like we started seeing today. So if you've never checked out YunaPRO before, definitely check it out. Go over to YunaPRO.com. It's been a game changer for my business and I know it will be for you as well. That's what I've got for you today. If this was helpful, give this video a like. And if you have any questions about using Facebook groups and Meta.ai to uncover new leads and new clients for your business, just leave those in the comment section below. I'm happy to help out. And again, if you haven't checked out YunaPRO, you gotta check it out. Go over to YunaPRO.com. I know you're gonna love it. Thanks for checking out this video. Can't wait to see you in the next video.